fuck is this for? Secret of Mana is actually the second in the franchise. The first one was released for the original Game Boy as Final Fantasy Adventure. It was released as a spin-off of the Final Fantasy series, but it took a life of its own and became the Mana series we know today. It came out in 1993 for the Super Nintendo, and it's been re-released for the Virtual Console, a Japanese cellular system called FOMA, and it's also on iOS and Android, but fuck touch controls. Fuck them to hell. No, Square Enix, no. The game was actually being developed for the never-to-be Nintendo CD add-on, which eventually became the PlayStation, after the deal between Nintendo and Sony became sour. Square management decided to continue with the cartridge instead of the CD, and of course this resulted in several cuts. Initially the game had a more open-ended nature, with several possible endings. The story itself was supposed to be much darker, but in the end, it's estimated that around 40% of the game had to be cut and everything else reworked. With such a rocky development process, did the game came out any good? Let's find out, shall we? The game starts with you and a couple of friends. Yeah, you can't see, but I'm air quoting. Friends? See? Yeah, air quotes. You trip and fall to your death. The end. But no, nothing happens, of course. You find a sword in a rock, and since you need to cut some bushes to get back to your village, you pull the sword out and head back home. Upon your arrival, strange earthquake happens, you trip and fall to your death again. The end. But no, of course nothing happens again. Monsters appear. You rise to the occasion and save the whole village. But still, everyone is mad at you because they believe that by removing the mana sword, all sorts of bad things will happen to the village. So, being the ignorant dicks that they are, they kick you out of the village to your own fate. They kicked out the orphan they found and raised. Fucking dicks. Yo, Elliot, fuck you! I saved your sorry ass! And you, Timothy, what the fuck is that hat? Is that a Doom's hat? You loser? And you, I hate you the most. By the way, that guy, he's there standing the whole game. He never moves. In your way, you learn that your sword needs to be powered by mana seeds in order to reach its full potential. You need to do this to stop the mana fortress, which is supposed to feed from the world and will eventually end it all. A girl and a sprite eventually joins your party, and they both have different motivations to join you. Each needs to do something for their own cause, but eventually all three take the same route and have the same motivation to stop all hell from breaking loose. The English translation was rushed to be finished in only 30 days. Ted Woolsey, who was in charge of localizing games for Square from 1991 to 96, said that he had to trim several conversations in the game because of the limited space. He also had a ton of problems with the transcript because it was not sent to him in order. He first had to organize all the pages and conversations so it first made sense, and then translate to accommodate everything in the SNES cartridge. He was so stressed out that he said, "It nearly killed me." All of this did have an impact in the end product, and it kinda shows in some conversations here and there. Even with all the problems, I like the story a lot. It doesn't really have funny moments. Even though it tries sometimes, it pretty much remains serious all game long. But it does have emotional moments, and it touches in different powerful subjects, like the aforementioned ignorance that kick you out because they are afraid. I would have liked to have more peaks and valleys to have better contrast, but what we have, I think, is pretty good. The graphics are bright, with nice colors and very nice detailed sprites and backgrounds, and it greatly benefits from a very cool art direction. I mean, look at it! Nothing's better than characters made of clay. It's a relative early SNES game, and it shows in the amount of effects and tricks that other later games would show in the Super Nintendo lifespan. But even with that said, there's really nothing to complain in this department. Now, the music. Oh my god, the music. This is definitely the high point of the game. I mean, the composer is in the starting screen of the game, and for a reason. Hiroki Kikuta made several innovations on how to approach the Super Nintendo DSP chip, and instead of using Nintendo's MIDI samples, he created his own to make the music and sound he wanted. And you can definitely hear the difference in music versus other games of the same time period. Not only that, but also the game innovated in trying to sync music to what was happening on screen. But this actually started as an accident. In the intro screen of the game, the SNES slow-clocked CPU could not render fast enough the picture shown, so they took that crisis and created an opportunity by making the game more cinematic in a sense, to great effect. The sound effects are pretty good as well. Some of them are very satisfying. The presentation is definitely one of this game's high points, and not very much I can complain on. Okay, Secret of Evermore has a very similar gameplay style. So in an effort for me not repeating myself, check my review of the game. I'm gonna be putting it right here. Now, let's talk about the differences between the two games. For starters, we need to find a specific weapon orb in order to upgrade that weapon. We can charge our weapons many more times, but it's very slow and sometimes it doesn't even register a hit. That's a problem, the hit detection. In some cases it works really well, but then we have enemies where it becomes really iffy. There are many bosses in the game, but a lot of them do repeat. Though, any game that lets you rescue Santa Claus is an instant winner in my book. The enemy selection is really weird. You have these limbless rabbits, military ducks, motorized turtles, birds in half a neck that come out of frogs, and even books. First you travel by foot, and then you fast travel by cannon. Huh? You get blasted into the air, and then you fall to your death. Okay, we all know what happens. Then you get a dragon to fly all over the world. Whee! The problem is that you get lost. There is a map, but it doesn't really help at all. At least they kinda point you in a general direction you need to go, but it's not always accurate. We have a party of 3. You can control whichever character and the computer will control the rest. But the computer will get stuck in many occasions. But the game has an ace under its sleeve, and that's multiplayer. That's right, a JRPG that has a cooperative mode. Why aren't more games doing this? This is brilliant, it's a brilliant addition. But it doesn't stop there. You can play up to 3 at the same time, with a multi-tap of course. This is an option that even games that are designed for multiplayer don't always have. So I asked my wife to play the game with me. Keep in mind, her game repertoire consists of Angry Birds, Bejeweled and Candy Crush, and she played the whole game with me. So, here's my wife. Say hi, Marcela.
Hi, Marcela.
Tell me what you liked about the game.
I like that there are a lot of weapons you can choose from. It's also nice that you have a dragon you can ride to fly all over. And I failed like a badass at the end of the game.
Okay, and what didn't you like?
I didn't like that we share a screen, so if you are in one side, I cannot move to the other side if you don't move with me. Besides, rocks, bushes, and flowers don't allow you to move freely all around, especially for a new gamer. And the foreground obstructs your vision, making it difficult to tell where you are.
So, did you like the game overall?
Of course I liked it. It was a new experience for me. It really felt great to be part of your world, baby. Thank you for sharing it with me.
See guys, if you ever need a game you can play with your non-gamer significant other, this might be a great option for you. The gameplay overall is great. We have an action-based RPG that really innovated in many aspects, from the non-random battles to the ring system and finally a cooperative mode that was unheard of at the time. Graphics, music, story, gameplay, they all seem to be top-notch on this RPG. It's not perfect. The computer AI controlling your party sucks, even after tweaking it to your liking. One thing I did not mention before is that when you're trying to buy new equipment, you have no idea if it's better than the one you have already equipped. You can kinda tell because of the price, but it would have been nice to see it while shopping. And also getting lost is a normal occurrence in the game, but those are very small gripes for the overall game. And the multiplayer is just the cherry on top. If you haven't played this JRPG, go do it now. Let's see, Secret of Mana versus its younger brother, Secret of Evermore. I think that Secret of Mana has a better presentation, it has a better story, and even though I believe that Secret of Evermore did polish the gameplay over Secret of Mana, the idea that you can play with more people just puts it over the top for me. Now, with Tales of Fantasia, I think that the graphics are definitely better in Fantasia, but the music is better in Mana. So it's a tie for presentation. The story, I like them both for different reasons, so it's a tie as well. So, oh wow, this is getting down to the wire. Let's see, gameplay. I think that both of them have their merits for different reasons. But again, multiplayer to the rescue. Just because of that, Secret of Mana edges Tales of Fantasia just barely. And now, we have a new winner. For now. So, thanks for watching Okado's Retro Reviews. And hasta la próxima.